Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes and welcome to a discussion on building an efficient embouchure for the saxophone. By embouchure, I simply refer to all of the various muscle groups involved in our face and skull and neck areas to provide a secure and natural grip on the saxophone mouthpiece. A grip that lets us play the full range of emotions on the saxophone, from happy to sad, from loud to soft, from clean to distorted, from screaming altissimo to subtone low notes. It all relies on a natural approach to how we hold the saxophone in our mouth. Let me just play something for you now on the alto. I'll play the introduction to the famous tune Baker Street by Jerry Rafferty. Have a close look at how I form my face, the embouchure, when I play this. Did you notice the muscle definition in my embouchure when I was playing? Not only around my top and bottom lips, but also out here on the corners, the edge of my mouth. I have a number of tutorials online where I give you some isometric exercises if your face isn't currently as strong as you'd like it to be able to play the saxophone. There are several tutorials I have online that can help you with that. Now let's talk about what I mean by an efficient embouchure on the saxophone. It all starts with the air. Nothing good is ever going to happen out of the bell of your saxophone if you're playing with scared breathing. In other words, if you're shallow breathing, if you're nervous when you breathe, if you're tense in your throat and your tongue and your body, you're never going to get that big open sound on the saxophone. It all starts with the air. I have some tutorials on how to breathe for wind instruments. Check that out. It's incredibly simple, but you need a low, deep breath supported from your diaphragm through a very relaxed upper body, a very wide open relaxed throat, a relaxed tongue, and a natural, firm but relaxed embouchure. So the key points of a natural, efficient embouchure on the sax are your top teeth must always rest on the top of your mouthpiece. I strongly recommend you use the thick rubber teeth cushions on top of your mouthpiece. You'll get a better sound perception in your mind of the true sound you're creating. The comfort factor is greatly improved. You're not getting vibrations up through your teeth. And it forces you to keep your mouth a little bit more open, even though it's only a millimetre or two. And the more open your mouth is, the less likely when you're playing that you're going to want to bite down and crunch the mouthpiece and the reed. So top teeth always resting firmly on the top of the mouthpiece. That's point number one. Point number two, bottom teeth never, ever touch the reed. Never. There's no playing technique where your teeth, your bottom teeth, should ever physically touch the reed. Now here comes the challenge. A lot of people misconstrue that requirement to rolling their bottom lip over their bottom teeth, like this. That way, your bottom teeth can never touch the reed. Now, some people play like that, and to some degree, yes, we do minutely cover our teeth by our bottom lip. But the way we should aim to do it is by building the strength up in our embouchure where, like when we close our lips, we've got this ball of muscle here that can actually hold our bottom lip up straight and our bottom teeth sit just below the top of our strong bottom lip. To help demonstrate the bottom lip position that I'm referring to, I've brought the camera in very close. Focus on my embouchure as I play the lowest possible note on the saxophone, low B flat. Now, focus on my embouchure as I play the highest possible note on the saxophone, assuming that my sax doesn't have a high F sharp on it. So I'll regard the highest note on the alto saxophone in the conventional fingering range as being F above high C. So just have a look again now at the profile of my embouchure when I play the highest note on the saxophone. Now, obviously the sound quality dropped as I turned my saxophone away from the microphone to show you those side profiles. But did you notice that a lot of the action actually happens out here, right out on the edge of your mouth? That's where a lot of the strength in playing the saxophone comes from. Surprisingly, it is not where you might think it comes from, in the centre of your embouchure. So what we need to give the mouthpiece and the reed is the same basic input as far as where our lips are holding the mouthpiece. You would have noticed that I don't push the mouthpiece further in or pull it further out to play at the extremes of the saxophone. I just hold the same grip throughout and let the saxophone do its job. I just played right across the full range there, from low F to high F down to low B flat. And if you have a look at my embouchure when I do that, there's only minute changes. It's important that you don't play with what I call a lockjaw or a cement embouchure. We need to have flexibility in the embouchure to allow for pitch bend, this sort of stuff. Now, I'm not using my fingers to do that. If I did that with my fingers, it would sound like this. So I'm playing high B and I'm dropping my first index finger on the F key, playing B to B flat. So I'll do that with my fingers. Now with my embouchure. So here I'm just holding high B. There's a subtle difference there. I can certainly hear when I'm pitch bending using my embouchure versus the fingers, but they're pretty close. That pitch bend is done by dropping our jaw, not our lip, dropping our jaw down a fraction, and of course our lip and our teeth will come down with it. But we're not trying to wiggle our bottom lip. We're not trying to our way through pitch bend. It's the same technique exactly as when we play with vibrato. Now, a final disclaimer, we're all different. We all have different teeth structures, face strength. Some of us have an overbite, an underbite. Some of us have crooked teeth. Some of us have missing teeth. Some of us have false teeth. All of those factors can greatly influence how you look when you have found your most efficient natural embouchure. And a really good example of that is the great David Sanborn. Has one of the best sounds on alto sax that anyone's ever had. Plays in the extreme altissimo register, gorgeous low notes. David has suffered from the effects of polio all his life. When you look at him play, his mouthpiece is coming out of the corner of his mouth. That's not because Dave wants to look cool when he plays. That's an effect that polio has had on the strength in his face. You don't have to look the same as I look when you play the saxophone. But let's go over those 3 points about efficiency. Always judge how you're going by the sound that you're producing on the saxophone. Don't worry about how you look when you play the saxophone. Worry about how you sound when you play the saxophone. Focus on getting the best possible sound with the best possible overall control of your sound, range, dynamics, subtones, all of those things that we've talked about, with the least effort possible. That's efficiency. Best sound, best control, least amount of effort. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and perhaps learnt something new from it. As always, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you're interested in some personalised Skype lessons, drop me an email via the contacts listed on my website. Bye for now.